Okay, so now you have to choose two other sources from your research module, from the research module prompt for the topic to do research or to do your research from or to use in your research to use to answer your question. So you're going to go to your prompt, and I recommend that you kind of look at each one of the sources, um, look at all of them before you choose one, so that you can choose the one that's going to work the best for you and that you're going to understand the best. So I um, I like to work with articles. I like to read words. That's easier for me. So I kind of stayed away from the videos also for the purposes of modeling for you guys. I thought it would be easier to stay away from the videos. Uh, However, some of the language used in some of the articles may be kind of off putting to some people or hard to understand. And maybe the videos are more kind of in language that you do understand. So maybe the videos would be better for you. And you can always do the closed captioning to be able to see what they're saying and pause it. Um, to kind of slow down and be able to better process those ideas when you're taking your notes. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Remember that you might want to use a tool like Annotate to take notes on these web pages. It's a nice tool, and actually, the first source that I used was this article from the Washington Post, which was a web page. I went ahead and opened the link here, and the first thing I need to do, as far as my notes are concerned, is I need to go ahead and put the name of the source into my documents. And I used Control Shift V to keep it from changing the formatting in my document. And I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the link. And I'm going to go ahead and put the link in. So now my note sheet's all set up. I'm going to need to be able to get back to this in order to cite it properly when I start writing my journal entry. So it's really important that I not only that I have the link for the source so I can get back to get all of my information that I need for my citation. Okay, so in preparation for making this video, I did a little work ahead of time and actually used that Annotate extension to take some notes on this source. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Annotate. It's going to have me sign in again. Okay, so now that I'm all signed in to Annotate, I'm going to click on my web annotations, which will show what I have done in the past. And here is the web page that we were just looking at. Go ahead and let it resize it. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Now I have all of my notes, all my highlighting that I did before. So what I was looking for is I was looking for things to highlight that told me what were some theories that people had about race, some scientific theories about race. So there are a couple of things that I have highlighted that then I can look at paraphrasing. And it looks like the first one. Um, is Thomas Jefferson talking about um, his theories about intelligence in Black people. So, again, when I'm paraphrasing, I want to try to come up with some different ways to say some of these things. I definitely don't talk like Thomas Jefferson, so I want to replace these words with think of some ways to say these things that is more like the way that I would speak. Um, and make sure that I kind of understand everything that he's saying. So I might kind of preload my brain with some alternatives by adding some text in places, like maybe instead of sensation, I say feeling. Reflection, I think this is him talking about thinking. And I'm not really sure what faculty means, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look up faculty. Mental power. Okay. I wouldn't ever say it that way, mental power, so I'll probably think of another way to say that. But it helps me to kind of keep in mind what he means by faculty here. All right. So now I'm going to, now that I've read this over several times, I'm going to put it into my own words in my document. So let me get over to my documents. And then I'm going to take a few minutes to put this into my own words, and then I'll show you what you got. Okay, so I ended up with, according to Thomas Jefferson, feelings rather than thought seemed to motivate the actions of Black people. Their lesser intelligence stood in the way of their freedom. So that's basically what the source is saying about the topic. Now, unlike with the book, I don't need to give a page number because it's an electronic source, so there's no page number to give. So now I just need to tell what this means and why it matters. So this is where I then need to connect it back to the idea that these different theories are helping to gather support for racism. So here we have one of the founding fathers talk about or give his theories on race, and obviously he was really a really influential figure, and people would tend to believe what he says. Now, one thing that I might want to kind of address in my explanation as well, another thought that I have about this is that he he actually was not a scientist. Um, so this is not technically a scientific theory on race, but it is a theory on race that many people believed for a long time. And when you're trying to do your ISAE, one thing that you might consider doing is using the text-to-speech tool. You can go to just Tools in your Google Docs app and select voice typing. And then if you click to speak, then you can actually just kind of talk out what it means or what it matters, just like I did, but actually record the text. So that is how you might take notes on one of your sources that you get to choose from the list of sources in the prompt. And I would then find my next piece of information and paraphrase it in the next row, and then give my commentary on the right-hand side. and repeat that process till I get to the end of that source, and then I would need to select a second source. Remember, you have to use two from that list. All right. So once you are done with taking the notes on both of those sources, you should have enough information gathered to write your journal entry on the section you're working on.